Okay. Correspondence. Monthly report, Director Wayne Bottalotta.
Okay. Everybody should have gotten the call statistics emailed to them this morning. We're slightly down in statistical terms, a little lower on police and fire calls. No reason for it, but the numbers are the numbers. And that also corresponds with being a little bit lower in the 911 calls for service compared to January, for instance. In all, we took about 11,000 phone calls during the month, both 911 and administrative. And that's all I have for you there. If anybody has any questions.
Yeah, I want to step in here for this point, and this is for Chief Warren as well, as well as our partners in Portland, in the police department and fire departments. Obviously, the dispatching system connects to our next gen system here in the police department. I'm not sure if it's the same for the fire departments or Portland, but I'd like to meet with the chiefs to determine if that's the case and how that populates in our system data-wise. I think it will help for calls of service. And when I say calls of service, it's call typing, which means, lack of better terms, for us, it would be emotionally disturbed persons to burglary to homicide to yada, 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 goes down the line for our end. But on the fire end, I wouldn't be as familiar. The reason why I'm saying this is that we're really trying to get granular with our data collection when it comes to calls of service out of dispatch and how dispatch initially does call typing. We are changing it on our end for actual call typing, but we want to make sure if we're capable of doing that with the fire departments and our partners in Portland, we'd like to do that so we can get to a granular level of data collection for need. It's important for my budget and what we're doing here in the police department, and we're putting on a program this week called Power BI, which isolates streets, locations when it comes to calls of service, and obviously it connects to our CIT and our soon-to-be social worker position. So looking to maybe, Wayne, if we could set something up to get that a handle on that, if that'd be something that everybody be interested in, put it out there.
I'd be happy to assist you in that, Eric. If you need contacts for Portland Police and Fire, I can certainly do that.
I can pass this on to Jim Trasky.
I'm good, Chief.
Tell him that Wayne, can you coordinate?
Sure.
And I'll give him a heads up, but in terms of when this is going to happen, it's really the participants that have to work that out.
Okay, but just something to keep in mind for the police department types. The fire department is really governed through the National Information System. So they're kind of dictated as to how they report their incidents. Their choices are the way they are. It's called the NFIRS. But it never hurts to have a conversation and to learn a little bit. So we'll try to put the right people together, and we'll try to set up a meeting.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Okay. Staffing update. So currently, when I mean currently, I mean at this minute, we're at 19 people. And as usual, once we start reaching a particular level where we're feeling real good about ourselves, bad things happen. Well, good things for some people, different things for others. We have a retiree. We have somebody who's going to retire before the end of the fiscal year. We have somebody that just transferred from Central Communications to the Board of Education. So we were able to work our way up to 19, and we lost 2. We're in the process of hiring now. We could probably get 1 or 2 off that list, and we could start the training process, but that takes time. And in the interim, it costs money. And it's pretty much the, wash, rinse, repeat when it comes to how we do staffing and how staffing, to be honest with you, is done throughout the country. This is not uncommon. This is talked about in every forum for dispatching. Being able to maintain staffing is very difficult. The job's difficult. The training time is difficult. So I'll keep you all posted on that. Over the period of way too long, I've been reporting on the Mile Lane site update regarding AT&T's bid to put a cell tower site there. AT&T had motioned to reopen the docket to the siting council to present additional evidence and alternatives for the property. The siting council denied that motion. It's under siting council decision now. And if I had to make an educated guess, I would say that the siting council is probably going to deny them the ability to use that site based on their current application. Doesn't mean they can't apply again, but they're probably going to get denied for what it was currently. The budget process is more than underway. It's in the hands of the Common Council now. I don't expect any changes for Central Communications at all with the budget we have presented. That there's a due date on that. I believe that's May 15th. So the hearings have been well underway and completed with the directors and public hearing portions. So we just wait now for the Common Council to release the approved budget. Last item is, and I bring this up every year and it's important. All of our radio sites are generator powered in case of loss of street power. And every year at this time of year, they're serviced, they're refueled, and they're ready to go. And sometimes people ask questions about this, and I just say for your knowledge that probably the biggest thing that happened communication-wise as far back as Hurricane Katrina is the city of New Orleans had a lot of things in place, but the one thing they didn't have in place was a maintenance program for their generators. And their failure of their communication system because of the storm was because of power. So in our case, we took that very seriously. We have been all these years, even with less sites, and those are maintained throughout the year, fueled, and appropriately taken care of. So that's one thing less we have to worry about. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Any questions? Is there any old business? New business?
Just an FYI,
Yes.
as some of you may be aware, the South Fire District budget did not pass.
Correct.
So we have to go through that process again. I attribute it to a low voter turnout, and I don't need to remind Wayne that when the voters don't turn out, the budget goes down. We didn't get 500 voters. And past history has shown us that there's a group of about 250 people that come out and vote against the budget no matter what. No matter what budget you give them, they're coming out and voting no. The no votes were 253. So that number was right on the head. So it's really, I guess it's a failure of us to get the word out and get the citizens to vote. I guess the good news on that is they must be pleased with what we're doing because they're that apathetic. But we'll be going through that process again. This time, we're probably going to have numbers. If the state is supposed to be voting on their budgets today and Wednesday, the Senate's voting today. I think the House votes Wednesday. So we should be dealing with better numbers We're gonna know what they're gonna do about the cars. I'm sure that Westfield Fire has the same problem, and even Middletown Fire, in that it looks like they're gonna cap car taxes at no more than 30 mills. Well, in Middletown, the city's mill rate is above that already. So that means fire districts will not be able to put motor vehicles in their grand list or in their revenue, which is a shift to the real estate. So that's kind of what we're looking at from our end in terms of budgets. And that's about it from South.
All right. Anything further? Entertain a motion for adjournment? Oh, Wayne, one thing. Before, we gonna meet again next month, or what are we gonna do about summertime?
Generally, it's the July and August meetings that are
Fine,
canceled.
fine. That's good. All right. So we will meet next month. All right. All right. I entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
All
Second.
right. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Good day.